is a senior with one more chance to add another title. Alabama State is the preseason favorite in the SWAC's Eastern Division and feel like they have a team good enough to win its first SWAC title in 10 years. It's Arkansas Pine-Bluff and Alabama State right now. Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama. A SWAC matchup between the University of Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions, and they take on the home team, the Alabama State Hornets.
Ben Anderson is the most athletic quarterback in the SWAC. When he's playing his football at a high level, he's creating havoc on defense. He's got a fresh set of legs, a rocket for a right arm, and he's really effective in managing the game and controlling the tempo with the run game. A team that wants to control time of possession, Ben Anderson gives the Golden Lions an opportunity to win every time.
But the feeling around here is that they have a team good enough this year to win the SWAC.
And this is a program that's coming off their biggest victory in the past 10 years when they beat Tennessee State, who many people thought was the best team in HBCU football. Fortunately for head coach Reggie Barlow, he's got running back Malcolm Cyrus, who's a workhorse. A season ago, Cyrus was sharing time with Isaiah Crowell, who's now in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. But now, his senior season, Malcolm Cyrus is really getting the job done. He's the leading rusher in the SWAC. Look for Malcolm Cyrus to carry the Hornets deep and far in this 2014 football campaign.
Well, the head coach for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Monty Coleman, in his 7th season, of course, won the SWAC title in 2012. They were victors over Jackson State that year at Legion Field in Birmingham. And they have a tough test on the road tonight. It's Arkansas Pine-Bluff playing their first conference game of the season. They're 0-2 overall. Alabama State 2-1 overall. They're 1-0 in conference, having beat Mississippi Valley State last week. And the Tyler Strickland kick into the end zone and through the back of the end zone, and Alabama State to begin at their own 25. They have an impressive quarterback of their own for Alabama State, and redshirt junior Daniel Duhart.
Duhart is a great game manager. He's got a good arm, very underrated as a scrambler and a runner from the quarterback position, but they feel that he gets it, he understands it. He's been brought up in this program since his freshman year, now in his junior season. They expect big things from Daniel Duhart.
You see the numbers with the 4 TDs, 3 interceptions so far this year. Does have a couple of rushing touchdowns. And he brings out the Hornets. In motion goes Brandon Barnes. Handoff running left. Joshua Davis able to pick up about 4 up to the 29. Tackled by the safety Jared Turner. Take a look at our impact players. Isaiah Ferguson, he is a tall one.
Isaiah Ferguson, the tall 6'6" wide receiver, and Courtney Berry, the inside linebacker from Alabama State.
And a flag.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Eddie Kelly, our referee tonight, as the right guard Robert Rockmore moved.
And Rockmore is normally a backup, but because of the injury to starting center Kerry Williams, they've had to move right guard Damian Love to center. So Rockmore is one of those positions at that guard position where maybe Arkansas Pine-Bluff can take advantage of the backup making his first start this year.
And another flag. Pre-snap.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So Demetrius Hickenbottom, the center, moves early. There's a look at our impact players with the Hornets have the football, including DeMario Bell.
DeMario Bell's an explosive wide receiver. He's got NFL talent. He can really get it done. And for the Golden Lions, DeMarcus Berry, number 54, coming off that edge, has to get pressure on the quarterback.
On 2nd and 16 through the air to the aforementioned DeMario Bell. He's to the 25 and had lost the football, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff saying they have the football. Antonio Jenkins came up with it, number 19. No signal from the officials yet. And they're going to keep it with Alabama State.
So the call on the field is it's a catch, and it seems as if Coach Coleman is saying slow it down, maybe trying to confirm whether or not that play should be reviewed.
A 3rd down and 10. Duhart throws across the middle and has a first down catch up to the 45-yard line. Brandon Barnes, the tight end, a 19-yard gain on 3rd and 10.
Look at the pocket. Look at the time that Duhart has in the pocket. Nice, clean pocket. Steps up into the throw. Able to throw a strike with the crossing route right across the formation.
Hornets offense had only been converting 28% of their 3rd downs coming into this game, but convert on 3rd and long. And there's a run for Malcolm Cyrus. First time he touches the football, tackled by quarterback Dave White.
Coaches could not say enough about the work ethic, the leadership, and the overall play of Malcolm Cyrus. Clearly, this season has been their best football player on the offensive side of the ball.
Give it right back to him, running left, turns that corner, and he has a first down with the run all the way up to the 42-yard line of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Antonio Jenkins, the linebacker, stopped him, but not before a gain of 9.
One thing Alabama State does well, attack the edges. Rarely will they run a ball in between the guards. They like to run the outside zone read play with a quick shifty back, one cut to the outside, take it upfield. Malcolm Cyrus is built to run this offense.
A first down for Alabama State at the 42 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and across the middle, reaching and caught at the 30-yard line once again by the tight end Brandon Barnes. His second catch of the drive, this one for 14 yards. It was pretty well covered by the free safety Kevin Rucker.
Great coverage, but a better throw by Duhart. Duhart showing a lot of confidence in the pocket, trusting his offensive line. He's coming out here throwing strikes early in this football game.
And here's breaking tackles Malcolm Cyrus. Couldn't break that one at the 17 from Jared Turner, the strong safety.
I am really impressed with the offensive line from Alabama State. 3 years ago, they were the weakness on this team, but they've gelled together. They've become the strength, and they're showing that they're one of the best offensive lines in FCS football.
Duhart keeping this time, wrapped up. Forward progress to about the 15, tackled there by Andre Mitchell.
Zone read, and once the quarterback decides to keep it, your responsibility. Hit the quarterback, he becomes a running back. That's great boundary protection by Andre Mitchell, the cornerback from Riverside, California.
Play action, Duhart keeping, nothing there, maybe a yard to the 14, met by Antonio Jenkins as well as Mark Lucian, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, good job, just penetration, collapse in the pocket. You take a look at Duhart going through his read, did not fool the defensive end at all. Caleb Bealey had to step into it, ended up stepping into a headache.
10th play of the drive coming here, and with the run, Cyrus breaks a tackle and he's into the end zone. Second rushing touchdown of the year, a 14-yard run. Kevin Rucker, the free safety, had a shot at him, but Cyrus blew right past him.
A good job of just getting behind the entourage of blockers, and you see the guard there kicking bottom. Good job running the football, set up your blockers, and Malcolm Cyrus showing the senior year, phenomenal senior year, off to a good start, continuing to run the football effectively.
Preston Clark for the point after. Knocks it through in an impressive 10-play drive, eating up 75 yards in a little over 4 minutes. Cyrus with the touchdown run of 14 yards in an early statement made by Alabama State. Malcolm Cyrus had 6 rushing touchdowns last year. He has 2 now this year with a 14-yard run on the opening drive for Alabama State. It was 75 yards, 10 plays. Malcolm Cyrus, you mentioned how impressed you were with the offensive line for Alabama State, Jay.
And look at the great guard play. The first guard here, Robert Roquemore, we called him out for getting the penalty called on him. He does a great job here. His responsibility in man of the line of scrimmage, and then Hickenbottom's going to come here and lead the entourage into the end zone. Great assignment, responsibility by the offensive line, but a fantastic kickout block by Roquemore right there. Once he gets up on him, they win that battle. Cyrus sets him up. That is how you draw it up, Mark Neely.
And Jay, of the 10 plays run on that drive by Alabama State, 7 were rushing plays, 3 passing plays. We are not surprised that Alabama State running well, and you look at Arkansas Pine-Bluff, who have struggled against trying to stop the run.
Yeah, that's from 2013 to last season. They really struggled stopping the run, and so far this year they've had their struggles as well. And if they don't figure out a way to control the line of scrimmage, it could be a long evening for the Golden Line.
Andre Mitchell from the 5, made it up to about the 15, tackled by Willie Roller. Let's take a look at what's on tap tonight from here in Montgomery, Alabama. Jay's going to tell us what you need to see this weekend. Pass attempt intended for Brian Handley out of the backfield. And he does pick up a yard. And we look at Ben Anderson, the impressive redshirt senior quarterback out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
What you saw there is what they plan on doing a lot. He throws a number of passes from outside the tackle box. The challenge for Alabama State is going to be to force Ben Anderson to stay in the pocket. He's explosive when he gets outside and breaks contain.
Now he puts it in the belly of Handley, who stumbles forward across the 25-yard line. He's about a yard shy from the first down after a run of 8, tackled by linebacker Torrey Davis.
Trying to just find a quick hit up the middle, get a body on the body. Middle linebacker Courtney Berry was blocked by the center, Pamplin. Nice play schematically by the goal lines and offensive coordinator Anthony Jones,
who told us he thinks Handley's their fastest running back. Brown and Handley are the backs, and the flag comes out.
Foul start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Left tackle Mikhail Carter turns a 3rd and 1 into a 3rd and 6.
And that's tough. And what you have to recognize, so far in this game, we've seen both teams have the ball 1-for-1 possession. Already 3 penalties called on the offensive line before the ball was snapped. Make the adjustment, realize they're calling it very tight in the trenches.
And 3 false starts. The 2 false starts against the Alabama State offense didn't slow them down for long. It is a 3rd and 6 back at their own 20. High pass, incomplete at the 21. One for Isaiah Ferguson, who's 6'6", a big target to hit. But there in the coverage was Trey Jenkins. So the penalty obviously hurt that drive for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. On the punt for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Lee Thomas standing back at the 40-yard line of Alabama State. Deizer's punt taken by Thomas after a little bit of a mishandle, and he's up close to midfield, tackled by Kevin Alexander. 35-yard punt, the 5-yard return. Well, let's take a look at our big questions in the SWAC. Is this the year for the Hornets, Jay?
Many people feel it is, and when you talk to the coaches, they will tell you this is the best football team they've had within 10 years. They have high expectations here in Montgomery, Alabama. But when you look at them, the offensive line is great, the defensive line is great, the talent is here. But winning the championship, everything has to go right. And Coach Reggie Barlow realizes that 2004 number, that's a long time.
It's been 10 years. They lost the championship game to Texas Southern in 2010, and Southern had to vacate that title due to violations. Second possession for Alabama State. Very good starting field position at their own 47. Running right. That one read well by defensive end DeMarcus Berry to tackle Cyrus, who loses a couple.
You know, adding a footnote to that drought that Alabama State has gone through, think about all the changes that have taken place just here in Montgomery on campus. This stadium wasn't here when they won the championship, the facilities. So they're due to make a run.
Too hard, didn't give it to Cyrus, taking it himself, does get a nice block on the edge, and he has a first down, running all the way up to the 41 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Run out by Kevin Rucker, but he picks up 14 yards.
And what was the scouting report on Duhart? He's an underrated runner. He's not a burner, but he's shifty, and he can make the first defender miss. Great recognition, keeping the play alive. That first down was all Daniel Duhart.
Swings it out. Nehemiah Henry trying to get blocks from Hanna and Barnes, the other receivers, but Dave White, Jontrell Lockett for Arkansas Pine-Bluff limit that to a 6-yard gain.
And right now, this Hornet offense is on cruise control. They're stretching the Lion defense from sideline to sideline, tiring out the defensive linemen, and continuing to use the horizontal rushing attack.
And Cyrus wearing him down a little more. That's a first down inside the 30, tackled by Jared Turner. Gain of 7.
Giving the ball to Cyrus. What's he looking for? Go sideways, make one cut, explode upfield, pick up 4 yards, and get the first down.
Duhart out again to Nehemiah Henry. Stopped at the 25 by Dave White and a few other Golden Lions for a pickup of 4.
I'd like to see Fred Keiss's playbook. I wonder, does he even know what the A gap looks like? You know, football around the center and the guard, the A and the B gap. I mean, he's doing everything, sideline to sideline, outside zone read. Everything is going on the perimeter.
You can see him there up in the press box. Fred Keiss, the defensive coordinator in his 4th season.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And that's one where Coach Keiss deserves credit for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to substitute those big bodies inside. He's running you sideline to sideline, then running the ball and bubble screens to the wide receivers, really attacking the defense.
Taking the penalty makes it a 1st and 5 at the 23 of the Golden Lions. Play fake, not too hard. Under pressure and sacked. He may have been horse collared, however, on the tackle by DeMarcus Berry.
You're going to see he's going to do a fantastic job of exploding off the ball. Watch him beat his man. Great move on the inside. Chases down.
10-yard penalty.
Wow.
First down.
What did we say earlier? They're calling it very tight tonight in the trenches. That looked like an outstanding football play by DeMarcus Berry, who they needed to step up and make that play.
And it was apparently, because they called it as a hold.
Second down.
Okay, so they called the hold. That's good, because that wasn't a horse collar.
No. That
was just a great football play by Berry.
Yeah, the flag came out right where the tackle was made, but the hold was on Jalen Ware, the right tackle. And that backs him up another 9 yards. 2nd and 14 at the 32. Duhart looking to sling it, goes to the sideline, too high for Cyrus, who still took the hit from the quarterback Dave White, despite not coming up with a football. Well, they had a 1st and 5, but now going in the wrong direction, 3rd and 14.
And they saw something on that last play. If you give Arkansas Pine-Bluff a trips formation, but you see at the top of your screen 3 wide receivers, they're going to play a cover 2. Let's see if the Hornets attack the middle of the field, which is the weakness of a cover 2.
Looking down the middle of the field, incomplete at the 10 for Nehemiah Henry, but a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
Pass intended for Henry.
Holding. Offense, number 74. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So you saw the attempt with the cover 2, and you're going to see right here, take a look, top of your screen. That's a hold clear as day by Matthew Bates, the left tackle.
Well, they opted not to take the penalty, so 4th down. And too long for a field goal, so Preston Clark on to punt. Trying to pin Arkansas Pine-Bluff deep, and are going to do so at the 3-yard line. Excellent punt by Clark. Down there by Leonard.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.
We're back to Montgomery, Alabama. Alabama State, new baseball stadium. There's the baseball team. New soccer facility, also softball new. The softball ladies did a little performance for us earlier today. And their marketing slogan is that it's a great time to be a Hornet. And with all the new facilities here, Jay, I think the student athletes would have to agree with them.
Oh, fantastic facilities here that they've done. And there's the baseball team right there. Coach Marvell Melendez came over from Bethune-Cookman. He's got the Hornets competitive. They were beating the championship game in the SWAC baseball tournament. Look for them to do good things on the diamond this year.
Aaron LeGrone across the 5 up near the 7 for a gain of 4. Tackled by Derek Billups. There's Aaron LeGrone, who sat out last year. Got the academics in order, but now he's back and is an integral part of their rushing attack. And 3 and out, the first possession for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Way high, and almost could have been intercepted. Intended for Willie Young.
And this is a one-on-one route to the fullest. Count how many people you see inside the box trying to protect the quarterback. That is maximum protection to the fullest. They had 9 people in there blocking on the route. Only person not blocking was the quarterback and receiver that ran the route. When they get back to Coach Jones, the offensive coordinator, at all costs is going to protect his quarterback.
And Anderson had Young open, but just overthrew him. From his end zone, fires to the near side. The catch made by Portia on his knees, so down right there, up at the 16, and it is a first down.
You take a look at Anderson, takes a deep drop, and you see the arm strength. He's already 5 yards deep in the shotgun, and he drops back another 5 yards, so he's 10 yards from the line of scrimmage when he delivers that 14-yard curl route to 25-yard throw.
Flag on the play.
Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Right guard Terrence Knight called a false start. There's Anthony Jones, the old coordinator.
Many people in this state know him very well from his days at Alabama A&M.
Right, he's the head coach.
Had a good run down there in Huntsville. And talked to Coach Monty Coleman. He said it was a blessing in disguise to be able to get Anthony Jones to join his staff and take over the offensive side of the football.
You guys who were teammates together in the NFL with the Washington Redskins. Anderson going to take off. Back up to around the 11-yard line, run down by Darius Washington.
One thing that defensive coordinator Kevin Ramsey from Alabama State likes to do, he likes to play man coverage. He is not afraid to play one coverage with a safety in the middle. He'll play zero coverage where it's just nobody in the deep middle of the field. He believes in taking you out of your comfort zone. Complete a couple passes on him, expect the blitz to come.
Second down at 14. And the running play stopped there by Derek Billups. And no gain.
Derek Billups with the stop for the Hornets. Ball carrier Aaron LeBron.
Well, Arkansas Pine-Bluff last year down to just 2 wins, went 2-7 in conference play. They did return 19 starters from their SWAC championship team of 2012, and 9 of those starters were unable to play. So that is a bit deceiving to say that they returned that many starters. They did, but as it turned out, they were certainly a bit handicapped in trying to repeat as conference champions. Pass towards the far sideline to the 18-yard line. That's Wesley Hawthorne's first catch of the game, his 8th of the season, but he's shaken up. Does get to his feet. It is going to be 4th down, and Hawthorne slowly walking off the field. He's fortunate that the sideline is right there. Dylan Nieheiser on to punt again, and there's Thomas. Khalid Thomas back at his own 42-yard line. Nice punt by Nieheiser all the way back to the 26. Goes Thomas, avoids the first tackler. Gets a nice block. Stumbles, stays on his feet across midfield. Spins before he's pulled down at the 38-yard line of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Lawrence Mosley finally able to bring him down. It's a 57-yard punt, but a 37-yard return. There is a flag. Looks like this may be coming back.
After play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 43 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So dead ball foul on sportsmanlike conduct. It did go against Alabama State, so we'll cut into the return. So 3:57 to play in the first quarter for Montgomery. Hornets about to take over again, and they have the 7-0 lead. 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Nice run back by Thomas. He loses a little bit of that with the dead ball unsportsmanlike conduct, so they begin at their own 47-yard line instead of beginning inside Golden Lion territory. There's a gain of 2. Cyrus.
Khalid Thomas, he's special. Cyrus is just having such a sensational year that Thomas is not getting many carries, but for Thomas, this is a young man that was recruited highly out of high school, went to the University of Kentucky, and then transferred here. So you talk about a guy that's got big-time talent, just a sophomore. He's special, and they say he's got moves like Jagger. Very tough to bring down.
As is Cyrus. Big tackle there at the 48-yard line. Jared Turner, strong safety, in on that stop, gain of 4. The Golden Lions defense had to play without middle linebacker Willie Duncan on that play. He lost his helmet, number 8, had to go off for a play per the rules. Look at the ball control. How about that? Alabama State running 2/3 of the plays. There's a flag, but they're playing through. A free play here for Alabama State, and an incompletion intended for Jameer Hanna, over by Kevin Rucker, number 22. You saw the entire offensive line for Alabama State just stand still.
It would be an offsides, and more importantly, I believe that should be enough penalty yards to give the Hornets the first down.
Outsides. Defense number 92. 5-yard penalty. Result of that play will be a first down.
So that indeed the case. Offsides on the left defensive tackle Ryan Williams, who's a freshman out of Memphis, Tennessee. One of the young players on that defensive line for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Only their 4th penalty. Cyrus had a hole, but it was quickly closed up by Jontrell Woodard. We're going to say he was down, ball down. It was picked up there by Woodard.
But Alabama State is just dominating the offensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage, running the ball at 4 or 5 yards a carry.
And another first down up to the 30. I liked your comment on their first drive. Cruise control. They're in cruise control again here, Jay.
They're on cruise control, and you can tell they feel comfortable because we've seen them run the ball to the teeth of the defense, inside run. They know they've got the defensive tackles tired. So what do? Now that the big fellas are tired from running sideline to sideline, they're just starting to punch them in the mouth and running straight ahead with a power running game.
14 yards there for Malcolm Cyrus. Jared Turner the stop, but another first down for Alabama State. They're marching again. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Thomas comes in now as the back, giving Cyrus a little breather. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff needing a breather. They call a timeout here.
And this is an offense that's high tempo, high pace. They call plays in a hurry. Monty Coleman, head coach, is a little upset with the defensive players. And you see right now, this is schooling right here. You know what he's doing is the defender didn't get called for the penalty, but it was clearly. I mean, he kicked the guy that was down on the ground in front of the official. He didn't get called for it, but Coach Coleman's trying to send a message. We're not that type of football program. He called timeout just so he could discipline the player, get him out of the game, not rewarding bad behavior on the football field. That makes you have a lot of respect for somebody like Coach Coleman. It's more than just football.
You call it schooling. I might call it getting your rear end chewed out.
You know, it's hard to say that to be politically correct nowadays.
Yeah. Semantics, but really the same thing. There's a run for Thomas, who had the nice punt return to start this drive for Alabama State. Willie Duncan with the tackle. Picks up 5.
Is that the recurring thing? Picks up 5.
Yeah,
Picks up 5. Running the football. Pick up 5.
Thomas makes a little move, and he picks up another 5 or 6. It's going to set up a 1st and goal, wrapped up by defensive end DeMarcus Berry.
It's almost time for them to start selling out. Bring an extra defender close to the line of scrimmage because schematically they're not matching up well, and Alabama State is having an easy job running the football.
Thomas, that time wrapped up, kept out of the end zone, stopped at the 1 by Mark Lucien, junior defensive tackle out of New York.
And finally they start moving the defensive linemen around before the ball is snapped, trying to create some confusion in the blocking schemes, but the Hornets still able to gain positive yardage.
Brings Cyrus back in. He's trying to get in and does so. Touchdown. 2nd tonight for Malcolm Cyrus. That one a 1-yard touchdown run to add on to the 14-yard TD run he had earlier.
This is going to go right up the gut. They've already worn down the defensive line from Arkansas Pine-Bluff. The outside blitzers got there a little bit late. Malcolm Cyrus knew where the goal line was. Points on the board for the Hornets.
Extra point for Preston Clark out of the hold of Ephraim Henderson. That sails through and makes it 14-0 with just over a minute and a half to go in this first quarter from Montgomery.
1:34 left in the first quarter here at WASU.
Look at the FCS rushing leaders. Tariq Cohen doing such a fantastic job at NC-A&T, but Malcolm Cyrus creeping up on him with a nice start here tonight.
And Cyrus is just a hard worker. I mean, you can tell he just works hard. He understands the blocking scheme. So we talked to the offensive coordinator, Coach Kice, Greg Kice. He said, I don't have to take him off the field. For any running back in the country, the moment a coach can say that you never have to leave the field, that's what you want him to say about you're going to play running back. Look at him run the horizontal running game that we talked about earlier. They were establishing what they want to do. Attack the perimeter. Then Cyrus showing the toughness with the ability to take and get the tough yards, setting up the blocks. Malcolm Cyrus has put on a fantastic show here in Montgomery tonight.
Alabama State's run 26 plays. 20 of those 26 plays have been rushing plays, and Cyrus, as a result, all the way up to 78 yards in this first quarter with the 2 TDs.
I like Cyrus a lot, but this offensive line is special. I mean, for them to put up the number that they're doing, and you see them in person, and you understand why people think this could be one of the best teams in FCS football.
Taking at the 11, Raheem Thomas. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they now need to get their offense kicked into gear here, Jay.
They have to come close to getting to the 50-yard line. So they need to take it one first down at a time. And I think at a point we saw the protection there when they did the maximum protection with Anderson. I think you have to, at this point in the year, if you're head coach Monty Coleman, you say, let's go back to what Ben Anderson did well for the previous 2 seasons. Open up the offense, spread it out, let him create plays with his feet rather than condense the playbook.
Aaron the Grown running right. Picks up about 4 up to the 29. Run down by Andre Wilson, the left tackle. There's Andre, who's a true freshman out of Savannah, Georgia. Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Again, they returned 19 starters from their championship team, Jay, but that's a deceiving number there.
Yeah, they had high expectations. You win the championship, you bring back 19 starters, but of those 19, 10 of them were declared ineligible. So they actually lost 10 starters. They only had 9 of the starters returning. And the numbers just showed it. When you take a look at what they were able to do defensively is where they really took a big hit. They kept Anderson eligible, but look at the numbers from defense, from what a difference a season makes.
Big decline. 12, the championship year, to last year when they won.
I mean, look
twice.
at that. They were the 11th team in the country in points allowed, right? And then they go a year later, they become 116 out of 122. Wow.
Face a 3rd down and 5. And try to extend this drive here.
I'd move the pocket. I'd allow Anderson to get outside the pocket.
Anderson's pass high. Oh, incomplete. Gold Porsche undercut there by Marcus Berg. And Porsche feeling that hit.
That last play was something where you see the mesh is not right there. Anderson wants to create with his feet. The play was called as a timing route. And you see, because Anderson didn't have his feet underneath him, ball sails high on him. Gets the intended target, Joel Porsche, undercut. Dangerous play, but the timing is just not there with Anderson. I don't know how comfortable the mesh has been between new offensive coordinator Anthony Jones and Ben Anderson.
So 3 possessions, 3 punts for the Golden Lions. Thomas not able to return that one more than just a couple of yards up to the 35. Lawrence Mosley with the tackle on special teams for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. We played 1 quarter here in Montgomery. A couple of rushing touchdowns for Malcolm Cyrus, and Alabama State leads 14-0. They begin the second quarter from Montgomery, Alabama. 14-0 Alabama State leading Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And the first quarter dominated, as you can imagine, by the Hornets. Look at the starting field position. Arkansas Pine-Bluff average starting field position in that first quarter was at their own 14. One drive began inside their own 5. While Alabama State's average starting field position at their own 38. 5.5 yards of play for Alabama State. that first quarter. Slung out to Nehemiah Henry. And a late flag comes in right at the side of the tackle near the 40-yard line.
10-yard penalty, first down.
And mark that off, and a holding penalty means Alabama State is playing behind the chains here. Here Hannah, one of the wide receivers, caught. Cyrus is the running back. Cyrus pulled down for a loss by Jontrell Lockett, a right defensive end. Well, the Southwestern Athletic Conference preseason poll, as far as the Eastern Division, Alabama State preseason pick to win it. Arkansas Pine-Bluff picked third in the West. Of course, the West has been the dominating division in the SWAC championship, winning the last 6. Southern winning it last year, beating Jackson State in double overtime. Play fake, and the pass up near midfield to Marcus Gamble is complete, and where they spotted, it looks like he'll have a first down after a gain of 21. The play fake into the near sideline, and a nice adjustment there by Gamble. He's a senior out of Atlanta. Kyle pushed right up near the 49 for pickup 2 or 3 for the running back Malcolm Cyrus. What a gain of 3 for Cyrus. Right back to the line with his hurry-up offense for Alabama State. Lost the football. And it looked like Alabama State able to get it back. One of the linemen jumped on top of it. That's the left tackle, Matthew Bates, who saves the possession. They do lose 4 yards, but that football lost by Daniel Duhart. I don't know if there was a mix-up with Cyrus there or what the cause of the fumble was, but they're fortunate that the left tackle, Bates, jumped on it. And now they jump early, and a free play, and a deflection incomplete at the 30. Intended for Brandon Barnes. Marcus Berry there on the coverage.
Outside. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So they'll pick up 5 yards there and move the ball right up to midfield. You can see the penalties now. That's number 5 on Arkansas Pine-Bluff, but the Hornets been hit for 4 penalties for 30 yards of their own. Third down, Duhart. Dangerous into triple coverage and incomplete at the 38. Deflected by Kyle Walker, the linebacker there, number 40.
Forcing the ball in the coverage. They've got great coverage in the middle of the field, realizing where the Hornets have been attacking. The cover 2 look, great drop by Kyle Walker in coverage. Tough throw. Wrong place to go with the football.
First punt of the night. Andre Mitchell back to receive this Preston Clark punt, who's been averaging 35 yards per punt coming in, and that one goes for 28 with no return. Yeah.
Playoff spots.
As an independent. I like your Thomas Jefferson University.
That's Thomas Jefferson University. I went to Howard University. I have to show off my political science degree from time to time.
Run from Michael Wilson around the corner. He's all the way up near the 39-yard line. There's the top run of the night so far for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. K-Ross Stewart with the tackle.
Yeah, this is just hard running to the perimeter. They need this. They need the running game to help them going. And right now in this football game, Alabama State got away from doing what they did well that last series. They started throwing the ball a little bit, and they had to punt. They're only up by 14 points now. If Arkansas Pine-Bluff can put some points on the board right now, all of a sudden it takes the Hornets out of their comfort zone.
Pass to the sideline is caught at the 45. A bullet to Joel Portia.
And this has been Anderson. This is how he plays. It's not necessarily how you draw up the play with the timing and the rhythm. but he got outside the pocket, created, lock and load. Look at that dart thrown on the money. That was great coverage by Deontay Ponder.
And nice blocks by his backs, Hanley and Wilson, to give him just a little extra time to fit that one in there. The run for Hanley, followed up at the 47 by Justin Mitchell. That run a few plays ago for Michael Wilson is 16 yards, longest of the night for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Wilson's got a little more bulk. You know, he and LeGrone are each 5'10", but LeGrone's 195. Wilson, as you saw, is 225, so a little more meat on the bones there.
A little more meat on the bone, a little bit more muscle mass, a little bit wider shoulder pad level. But the problem that Arkansas Pine-Bluff has had is the offensive line has not done a good job protecting the quarterback as well as in the running game. Not a very athletic line right now. And that's one of the things that the coaching staff said they must improve upon is to play the interior line.
A really big call here on 3rd and 2. And getting the first down with his feet is the quarterback, Ben Anderson.
I like it. You know, I like it because you're on the road, conference opener for Pine-Bluff. You have to win this game. Got an opportunity to cross midfield, give it to your best football player. Let him make a play. And if Alabama State's good enough to stop Ben Anderson from running the football, then it happens. But more times than not, Anderson's going to find a way to beat you when he's got the ball in his hands and he's creating with his legs.
First time Arkansas Pine-Bluff's been into Hornets territory. This one just by the length of the football.
Starting to feel it, man.
More than that, Anderson. A first down run up to the 34. That gallop goes for 16 yards. Run down by the cornerback, Deontay Ponder.
Starting to feel it. Watch the quick decision. I'm keeping it, and he's gone. Defensive end does not have time to react. Great athleticism and great decision by Ben Anderson, calling his own number on his own read.
First down, Golden Lions at the 33 of Alabama State. But you're right, Jay. If Gold Lions can score a touchdown here, and Anderson keeping it again, and he's the answer right now. First down run inside the 20 to the 18. Great block by the right tackle, Trevin Reagan.
Yeah, let's take a look at Reagan, number 71. You're going to see him pull and initiate contact with the linebacker in the hole. Darius Washington, he didn't want a piece of that 300-pound right tackle coming around. And all of a sudden, Arkansas Pine-Bluff, they're in the red zone.
A 15-yard pickup there, but my point, Jay, if they could score a touchdown here, they were dominated in the first quarter, but they'd be only down one score.
High score, and watch the double move. This is that area of the field where they like to do a stutter go or a stop go with their wide receivers.
Wilson running for a couple of yards. Tackled by Chris Terry and others for Alabama State.
A couple things can happen on this play coming up. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's going to find a way to get that ball thrown into the end zone. What Alabama State does when you move the ball on them a little bit, they're going to bring pressure. So you saw that last play. They brought the blitz. They had 8 guys at the line of scrimmage. Anticipate that. Bait them into a formation where they feel like if we blitz the quarterback, we can get to him and throw the ball up top and allow one of your playmakers to make a play.
Here's the pitch.
No.
Hanley turns it back. Does make some positive yardage to the 14. Picks up 3.
This is where you have to know your opponent and what they're trying to do. They crowded that line of scrimmage, and they put defenders more in there that you could block. See, once they put 7 men in the box, they win that number game. Take the one-on-one matchup with the wide receiver to the outside. We talked about Isaiah Ferguson, 6'6" wide receiver. I'm giving him a shot.
Yeah. 9th play of the drive coming up. On the previous 8, 7 of the 8 have been rushing plays.
Man coverage up top.
They go in the air for Ferguson. You were just mentioning his name, and off the fingertips at the goal line.
And this is where you want the recognition by Anderson. There's no help over the top. Once he gets by him, there's nobody behind him. You don't have to throw that bullet pass. He could have thrown that to the back of the end zone with a clean release, and it would have been the easiest touchdown throw he made in his career. Instead, he tried to shoot that dart in there, off the mark, have to settle for a field goal opportunity.
Kind of hard to overthrow a 6'6" guy, but he did. So the field goal attempt. Tyler Strickland is blocked. And the live ball is picked up and played dead at that point.
Special teams for Alabama State coming up with their third block field goal attempt of the year. The Lions still not on the board.
31-yard field goal attempt from Tyler Strickland in the block. Watch number 95 get through there.
Justin Mitchell will get credit for a block, but that was a very low trajectory kick. I don't know if it had a shot, even if there was not penetration up the middle.
Cyrus tumbles forward to the 28 for a run of 8 on first down, brought down by Jared Turner.
How nice are the facilities here at Alabama State? I don't know if we can say it enough. We were talking before the game, and I think we agreed pretty unanimously that this is the best FCS football facility you're going to find.
Yeah, definitely one that we've been to in person for sure.
They've got great things going on here. New president, Dr. Gwen Boyd, first female president in the history of the school. We talked about all the athletic facilities. I know that she was proud of the new Life Science Center that they have on campus. Really trying to expand the footprint of Alabama State. And they're doing a fantastic job here. Great time to be a Hornet. Isn't that the theme?
That's the marketing theme here. Thomas has a run of just a yard or two. School was founded back in 1867. The undergrad's about 5,300, Jay, but their plan is to really add to that in the coming years, isn't it?
They want to grow the footprint. They're going to add to their life science department, probably some more postgraduate programs. And with the facilities upgrade, it was long overdue. They deserve it.
Nehemiah Henry.
But you know what they want? Right now, what they settle for?
What's that?
Help grow the enrollment. Everybody loves a football team that's winning, Mark.
Yes.
If they win the SWAC championship, there'll be some more applicants that will apply.
So 3rd and 5. And another free play. Well, he may have been coming unimpeded, but it looked like offsides on Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
They've been busy tonight, haven't they?
The flags have been flying.
Outside. Defense, number 53. Unabated to the quarterback. Result of that foul is a first down.
It's John Terrell Lockett, the defensive end for Pine-Bluff. But let's see if Alabama State gets back to doing what they did well in that first quarter. Run the football. Run them side to side. Daniel Duhart was playing fantastic football, handing off the ball to Malcolm Cyrus.
And Cyrus right there for a good 8 yards on first down. Tackled by DeMarcus Berry. That last penalty against Arkansas Pine-Bluff, the 6th against the Golden Lions tonight. And all the penalties, Jay, have been of the procedure variety. You know, false start, offsides. Cyrus. Another first down at the 47 this time of Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
And I like that. They're going back to their hurry-up, fast-paced offense, trying to wear down the defensive line from Arkansas Pine-Bluff again. You know they're going to run the ball to the outside. So it's just a matter of they're going to run the weak side or strong side. In this formation, they like to have Cyrus come across the formation.
Cyrus coming across to the far side using that block from Henry, but only a yard or so. Antonio Jenkins running him out. Couple of first down, or I should say first quarter touchdown runs for Cyrus. One at 14 yards and then one of 1 yard.
This is that look when they go trip wide receivers. You know you're going to get some type of cover two coverage. But all of a sudden,
well read. Henry stopped by Antonio Jenkins, no gain. So 3rd and long, making 3rd and 8. That's really a 3rd and 9. Duhart going deep. And overthrows his intended receiver, Demario Bell. 4th down.
All of a sudden, Alabama State was on cruise control, got away from running the football a little bit. Now they're trying to jumpstart the offense again. Arkansas Pine-Bluff really missed an opportunity, not putting a touchdown on the board or any points on the board, but this has become a football game that's up for grabs.
Clark's punt. Mitchell calls for the fair catch at the 13-yard line. So we have just under 5 minutes to play in this first half for Montgomery. The Lions trying to get something going. They trail 14-0. A trend here for the West Division, isn't there, Jerry?
Well, the West has had dominance, but also there's been nobody to repeat as champion in quite some time. Southern won it last year. Can they do it this year? That's the million-dollar question.
Anderson just ran out of time. Loses two, sacked. Darian Barrett, 59. Southern won it last year in overtime. In fact, 2 overtimes against Jackson State. Jackson State losers in the last 2 SWAC title games. Ferguson. A little wide receiver screen really on both sides tonight, Jay. Hasn't resulted in much yardage.
No, they're trying to stretch the field, but for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, when you've got a quarterback with a strong arm like Anderson, he hasn't been accurate as you would like him to be tonight, but take some shots downfield. Utilize the vertical passing game. Routes that are 10, 12 yards deep in depth and really try and stretch the defense. But when your quarterback is not throwing strikes, very difficult to choose that vertical passing game in your play selection.
Well, they need to extend this drive right here. Alabama State has all 3 of their timeouts. This is a 3rd and 11. And under heat, duress. The pass dropped by Braxton Hoof, who had some green out there and had a chance to convert that.
Oh, that would have been a big play. And that was all created by Ben Anderson with the deep drop, able to elude the rush, kept his eyes downfield, threw the ball to Braxton Hoof in stride.
This is a drop that may cost him 7 points.
Yeah, look, there's nobody behind him. Look at him step up, nice, sees him. He beats both defenders. He's going to pick up 10, 15 yards minimum. But so often we see receivers start running before they secure the football.
3rd 3 and out for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Deheiser punting of his own goal line. It's a pretty good one off. Thomas back at his own 46. Pulled down at the 48 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. T.J. Jackson. 43-yard punt, 7-yard return. And Southern was the championship, won the championship last year. Can they repeat, Jay?
I would say if you're going to have a repeat champion in the SWAC, I think it has to come from one of the blue bloods in the SWAC, and that is Grambling, Southern, Jackson State. We saw Jackson State get to the championship game twice. Southern has the ability to do it, but it's going to be a tough road because this Alabama State team we're looking at, they're loaded. And if the road to a championship has to go through Montgomery, Alabama, I don't like your chances. This team I'm looking at right now is very efficient, but give Coach Odom's credit down there. Many people thought they overachieved the season ago. How will they handle the success of 2014?
This drive begins at the 48 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Cyrus lost the football, but went out of bounds at the 45. Might have been knocked out by the safety, Jared Turner, who punched it out.
Cyrus, the first defender is not going to have the ability to bring them down, and towards the end of the run, just trying to switch hands, and the ball came out. Lucky break for Alabama State.
To go back, Jay, I said that the drop may cost Arkansas Pine-Bluff 7 points. Not so much that they would score a touchdown, but they may give up one here if they're not careful, as time is running down. Under 3 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Anytime you allow your opponent to operate with a short field, Alabama State's thinking we just need 2 first downs and we're in field goal range.
Just a little bit, okay? I don't want to bump it.
Looking at a 3rd and 7 here. Need to advance it to the 38 for a first down.
And this is where, as a quarterback, I'm thinking, I don't have to pick up the first down on this throw. I think if it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, you'll probably go for it. It'll be 4-down territory, but if it's an incomplete pass, then they're going to kick it away before the half. Oh, he's opening the check down.
Duhart just overthrew him by about a half step. Andre Mitchell had the coverage, but he was beaten.
Yeah. But tell me, is this the right decision to go to football? Hold the ball right there. You see right now, look at number 22. Tell me, how wide open is your best football player, and you need 7 yards? I mean, that's stealing. You know, we talk about having the ability to hit the check down. If he gives that ball, that little 7-yard throw to Cyrus, he turns, makes one guy miss, and that's a touchdown.
Instead, he went for the home run ball to Bell and missed, and it's the 3rd consecutive punt for Alabama State. And Mitchell with the fair catch at the 10 on the other side of the break. Studio will let us know what's coming up at the intermission. We're 2:45 away from halftime here in Montgomery. That may be coming back. Bradley Street ran him out of bounds. Eddie Kelly, our referee tonight.
During the return, hold it. Receiving team, number 32. After distance to the goal, first down.
So often, a big return coming back. Yeah, didn't really see it from that angle, but might have been number 32 initially there.
That's the 7th penalty tonight against Arkansas Pine-Bluff, but the first non-procedure penalty against the Golden Lions.
I want to see how they come out to start the second half. Their game plan is to control the time of possession. They want to have the football longer than you have it. They're not really trying to hit you with the big play, but when you get down 21 points on the road, your first drive coming out of halftime is important. You have to come away with points on the board, because if Alabama State puts more points on the board, then you just don't think there'll be enough time for a laid-back offensive attack that Arkansas Pine-Bluff has showed thus far.
Yeah, obviously 28 seconds didn't run off on that return, so they're going to have to reset the clock here.
With the clock operator, please reset the clock. 14 minutes, 51 seconds. 14:51.
Copy that, Eddie Kelly. So there's the actual time. Just 9 seconds gone in the second half, and they begin at their own 9-yard line to the Golden Lions. Anderson hands it off. Courtney Berry stops, not just for a 1-yard gain for Michael Wilson.
Yeah, great job sniffing out that run by Courtney Berry. We talked about him being one of our impact players. 5 tackles on the night. Demario Bell showed up in a major way. DeMarcus Berry's had a pretty decent game for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He got a big sack. Isaiah Ferguson, that passing game for Pine-Bluff has been,
Yeah, that may be kind. The
Haven't given him many chances, though. He hasn't been around for many targets. Got one-on-one with him down the bottom of the screen.
Juggled, but then caught by Wesley Hawthorne up to the 20, where they spotted. Should give them a first down, a gain of 10. Tackled by Trey Jenkins.
When Ben Anderson sets his feet, you can tell he's got a very strong arm. I think his accuracy issues come into play when he's thinking about running and not just reading what the defense is giving him, taking his eye off of the coverage.
Hand it off to Wilson. Stood up for just about a yard by a large group of Hornet defenders. Ben Anderson, now a redshirt senior. Remember, he was the SWAC Freshman of the Year back in 2011. And was the SWAC championship game MVP in 2012 when they won the title. His first team all SWAC in 11 and 12. Now here he is as a senior with one more chance, Jay, to try to win a title.
Tough job ahead of him right now on the road, down 21 points. But he's got the ability to put up points in bunches.
Hit as he throws and incomplete. It was Courtney Berry, middle linebacker, number 32, who got a hand on him and affected that pass.
Courtney Berry, one of the better defensive players for the Hornet defense. Watch this, just A-gap blitz. Great anticipation. He timed it perfectly. There was nothing that Ben Anderson could do besides get rid of the football. Berry, guys, been starting at Alabama State since he stepped foot on campus. Just a sophomore, now started as a freshman as well, and made all conference. He's a good football player.
105 tackles last year to lead the Hornets defense, leading them in tackles in nearly 30. Now in this game, 5 or 6, and there's stopped at the 24, gain of 3. There is Washington stopping the quarterback Anderson.
They knew the run was coming, so the lane opened up. He had a fullback there, didn't wait for him, but look at the leg strength. Still takes 3 gold helmets in order to take Anderson down. I like this kid. Khalid Thomas, they say he's a great running back, and right now he's been limited with this carry, so he's making the most of his opportunities on special teams. He's a very dangerous return man for Alabama State.
6 punt for Dylan Nieheiser tonight, and this one's short, taken by Thomas at the 45, but it got upended right away. And Cabot Alexander. Well, Saturday coverage of college football continues on ESPNU. First at 3:30 Eastern, it's East Carolina hosting North Carolina. And then at 7, Northern Illinois against Arkansas in college football primetime, presented by 5 Hour Energy. Both games also live on Watch ESPN. ECU, big win against Virginia Tech. Kind of been up and down. They beat NC Central out of the MEAC soundly, and then lost to South Carolina, and then a big win on the road.
I've got them as a favorite taking on North Carolina.
Do you?
I mean, you look at it, they played South Carolina very close. Then played a fantastic first half of football versus Virginia Tech. Managed to hold on for the victory. I think Ruffin McNeil's got them playing some good football there at Eastern Carolina.
Cyrus picked up 6 on first down, 2nd down and 4. It's 21 carries for Cyrus tonight, 109 yards. Came in averaging 141 per game. Another carry, another first down. Cyrus bounces off 1 tackler, a second, finally brought down by the 3rd. It's Willie Duncan, the 3rd, the middle linebacker. A run of 13.
Well, great job here by Brandon Barnes. Take a look at your tight end. Schematically, they're going to fool you. He's going to come across the formation and serve as a lead blocker, and then watch Malcolm Cyrus set him up nicely, sealed the edge.
Cyrus again stopped at the 29 for 5 yards.
It's so good when you've got a lead blocker. Anybody can put a lead blocker out there, but it takes a really good running back to know how to utilize and set up your blocks. Don't allow the defense to see the blocker coming. Give them a move, occupy their attention.
Cyrus gets a breather. Thomas gets the carry. He carries the pile all the way inside the 15. Kevin Rucker, the free safety, eventually able to bring him down along with Jared Turner. I know you like this young man.
He's special. He's strong. I mean, he's 5'9", about 180 pounds, but how many times have we seen one person bring him down? They've had to have 2 or 3 defenders. He's got the ability to run through arm tackles.
Cyrus right back in after the 15-yard run by Thomas. Duncan and Walker stopping Cyrus that time after a gain of 3. Brandon Barnes comes back in, replacing Nehemiah Henry. We'll see if Barnes as a blocker again. He was earlier on this sequence of plays. Cyrus into the end zone, touchdown. Well, you can see that one, Jay. About 2 strides into the run.
The hole was so big that he didn't run the ball where the play was designed to go. It was supposed to be a counter trap to the outside, but a great job by Damon in Love, number 60, the center. Once he gets up on the nose tackle, it was a wrap. All of a sudden, Dr. Cyrus said, no need to go outside. Let me take it inside. Once you get that seal block, no linebackers, they overflow. Great vision by Malcolm Cyrus.
His 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. The point after for Preston Clark. 28-0 Alabama State here early in this 2nd half. Big night, Malcolm Cyrus with his 3rd TD run. 8-0, Alabama State leading. Taking it to 12. Alexander still on his feet, lost the football. It's loose. And it looked like Arkansas Pine-Bluff able to recover at their own 18, recovered by Lawrence Mosley. The Old Lions can't get out of their own way tonight. That last touchdown scored by Cyrus, his third of the night, so that sets a career high for him for a single game. 3 rushing TDs from 14, 1, and now 11 yards.
And good for him. The young man deserves it. I mean, after sharing time the past 2 seasons with Isaiah Crowell, obviously he learned something from Crowell, but also stepped up his leadership his senior year. He's playing football at a very high level right now for Alabama State.
Well, the Lions begin at their own 19-yard line. See if they can get their offense finally into gear. Anderson under pressure will run. Stiff arm down the sideline, but stumbling out of bounds at the 39. Marcus Berg was the one able to disrupt his momentum enough that he stumbled out of bounds, a gain of 20.
And when you watch Arkansas Pine-Bluff on tape, the thing that stands out is the athleticism at the quarterback position. Ben Anderson able to make plays time and time again with his legs. That's what makes him such a good weapon. The passing game has not been there, but his athleticism at the quarterback position has shown. That's been the one bright spot for the Golden Lions tonight.
That 20-yard pickup there is the longest play of the night from scrimmage for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Handley. He's going to be tackled for a loss of a couple. Roderick Henderson and Antonio Humphrey. A loss of 2.
You get to a certain point where you realize it's just tough to run on. I mean, look at this. I mean, they're loaded at the defensive line, and you try and run the ball just to keep them honest. It's unfortunate when you run the ball just to keep them honest and they get you with a tackle for loss. That changes your next play call selection.
Anderson rolling out with Handley blocking for him, and decides just to get rid of it. Nothing there. And it's going to be 3rd and 12.
I really like Courtney Berry. That linebacker position, he's got such a fluid motion about him, the way he is always in the right place at the right time, in position to make a play. No question he's one of the best defenders in the SWAC, but also you can see why he was named first team all-conference as a freshman. 6 feet, 215 pounds. He was an all-state wrestler in high school. Does a really good job leveraging his hands, and you always see him around the football.
Yeah, I mentioned his 105 tackles last year to lead the team, but he was tied for the team lead in sacks with 7, nearly picking up 1 there. He and Torrey Davis combining, and a big loss all the way back to the 25.
Did you see the angle of pursuit that Courtney Berry? I mean, watch this. He's going to time up the blitz for the 2nd time. We've seen him do this. Shoot the A-gap. Great job coming in here, weaving, finding the quarterback. Well, that's what you want. You can't get a hand on him. He just sidestepped the guard so quickly. He was there to force Anderson to tuck the ball, and then Torrey Davis to clean it up.
They lost 13 yards, so 4th down, and the eyes are to punt. Thomas back at his own 33. And with the rugby-style punt. Bounces into the arms of Thomas at the 34, and late flag out as he returned it about 10 yards up into the 45.
Now, did he call fair catch?
That's the question.
Or did he tell everybody scatter?
Thomas brings it out to the 46.
There's a difference. I mean, a scatter call, you normally take your arms and you wave them outwards.
Which you can then pick up the ball.
You can pick up the ball. Fair catch, you put your hand in the air.
Delay of game. Number 7 on the receiving team. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So the officials think that he was calling for a fair catch, but take another look.
See what he's telling everybody? He's telling you, I did not put my hand in the air. I told everybody, get away, scatter. Take a look at the play here. I don't know. That first one might have been, well, it's a close one. They got it right.
Paced Alabama State to a 28-0 lead. 7:42 to play, 3rd quarter from Montgomery. Put into the arms of Cyrus For just a yard there, Ryan Williams bringing him down. This is unusual for Alabama State tonight, Jay, to actually be running plays in their own end. They've run 60% of their plays on the Arkansas Pine-Bluff side of the field, 32 of their 52 plays.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff offense has not been able to cross midfield, and the line of scrimmage has been dominated by Alabama State.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff has just run one play. Cyrus dropping it there at the 38. Hit by Antonio Jenkins. One of the few mistakes he's made tonight.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Quintarius Toppins come in the game for Alabama State. They normally like to play two quarterbacks, but I think Duhart's been pretty consistent. But you talk about Toppins, backup quarterback, they really like to get him ready in case they need him. Game's a pretty comfortable lead, 28-0. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him maybe finish out this game.
Yeah, when we asked Fred Keiss, the offensive coordinator, about that, he said pretty emphatically that Toppins would play tonight. He said, oh yeah, you'll see him. Timeout used.
Alabama State. First charge.
Used there first. Well, coverage of college soccer continues here on ESPNU Sunday at noon. Number 5 Notre Dame takes the field against number 7 Virginia. The game's also available live on Watch ESPN. Nick Beasler, senior, first team All ACC. And number 5 Notre Dame taking on 7th ranked Virginia. Nick's brother Matt, who plays in the pro ranks with Sporting Kansas City, who are trying to repeat as MLS champions. Third down and 9 upcoming for Alabama State from their own 32. Daniel Duhart going to take off with it, and he is going to pick up the first down. Lunges forward to the 43. Tackled by safety Jared Turner, but a run of 11 first down.
It's a Hornet first down.
You know, when we look at Duhart's run here.
This is good pocket. And he could have stayed in the pocket, but he realized there was no linebacker in the middle of the field. Knew exactly where the first down marker was. Great decision to run the football.
Cyrus trying to get around that right corner, slung down by Dave White. A gain of 3. See, Cyrus giving his left guard Dimitri Hickenbottom a little love there after the tackle.
Hickenbottom was trying to keep up with him. He ran a long way. The agile guard from Meadville, Mississippi,
who's 330 pounds. And Cyrus, first down run up to the 39 of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Nice block by the tight end, Wendell Archie. Goes for 16 yards. There you go. Plays on the opponent's side of the field. Alabama State just about to run their 32nd, but a flag.
Illegal substitution against the defense. 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. First down.
He's still on the play with 11, right?
And Coach Coleman, this one, he thought things could get any worse. They get called for illegal substitution. Second time in this game. And a team like Alabama State with their up-tempo offense, they're going to generate a couple of those calls a game.
Cyrus bumps off a couple of tacklers. Still going! One man to beat. Now another comes from behind to tackle him with the 6th. What a run. Malcolm Cyrus, what a night he's having. That was as impressive a 27-yard run as you'll see.
And he's just feeling. You know, you get a basketball player when they're in the zone and they can just hit every shot. Every play you call, he's going to make it work.
How many tackles?
They sniff out the play nicely.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, you won't find a better run anywhere
5,
being run today.
6. Took the 7th guy to bring him down.
The 7th guy, I mean, that is a best play. What do we call it, top 10 nominee?
Yeah, that was impressive. I would say so. Maybe a Sports Center top 10 nominee there. 29 carries, 188 yards. Career high 3 TDs for Cyrus.
I mean, you just get the notion that he feels that no one person can bring me down. I don't care what play you call, coach. I'm going to make it work. And that last run there was phenomenal. 7 goal line defenders had an opportunity to bring him down.
Showing that big smile. For good reason. We saw Antonio Jenkins, number 19, come off the field for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. The weak side linebacker has been their leading tackler and really their best playmaker at linebacker, but fortunately off under his own power to the sideline. Thomas finishes off this drive with the touchdown. His second rushing touchdown of the year. First tonight, 34-0 Alabama State.
Look at this. Over pursuit by the linebackers. Great job of getting to the second level by picking bottom. Number 70 gets right up on him. Drives him through there. Easy touchdown run for Khalid Thomas.
And we had some extra stuff going on after the play.
It's frustration right now. I mean, Alabama State is coming here and they put a pretty good spanking on Arkansas Pine-Bluff right now. The defense has been on the field for a while. Tempers are flaring.
Well, I didn't see anything egregious there. It was a little bit of pushing and shoving, so the flags did come out. And we're going to have some personal fouls.
After the play, that was the result of a touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 60 on the offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 22 on the defense. Those players is offset. Try.
So center Damian Love for Alabama State and free safety Kevin Rucker for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Everyone's called for the personal fouls after the play. Fifth point after attempt tonight for Preston Clark, and he hammers through. 35-0. Hornets making a statement here tonight on their home field in Montgomery. State didn't play well against Oklahoma State.
Didn't play well, I would say, from a defensive perspective. Offense, they put some points on the board, but give credit to the Cowboys. They just matched them touchdown for touchdown for a while.
Devontae King trying to make something happen on special teams for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He's up to the 34, tackled by Andre Kinsey. 32-yard return. Let's check in with the studio while we have a moment, guys. Actually, let's hold off on that just a moment because we do have a flag on the field. Get this sorted out first. Eventually we'll get this call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike. Number 26 on the kicking team, number 48 on the receiving team. First down.
We're going to have to get Eddie Kelly a lozenge or something. He's been talking a lot tonight.
And particularly if you're breaking up little skirmishes on the field, you have to raise your voice a little bit. Vocal cords are getting a little worn out.
Throw on first down. Anderson flushed out. Dumped it off and almost had it picked off by Deontrell Silman. Now let's check in with the studio, see what's going on, guys.
All right, let's go inside the headset presented by AT&T. Brendan Fitzgerald here with Charles Arbuckle, and Auburn with a big touchdown here. Nick Marshall to Ricardo Lewis.
Nick Marshall getting the ball down the field. Ricardo Lewis, look, somebody thinks you're playing touch, but no, you got to tackle him.
3 missed field goals by Kansas State. Auburn leads.
Good to Charles. Thanks very much. The Cats having a chance to take the lead, not able to do it with the 3 missed field goals. Well, that's up for Bill Snyder's team. Juggled but held on to by Hawthorne, out at the 39 for a gain of 3.
Yeah, close game. And what are we, about 40 miles away from Auburn?
Yeah, we're not far, a little east of us.
Yeah, they care about that game here in this state of Alabama.
Either the Auburn fans wanting them to win or the Bama fans probably wanting them to be beaten. We've seen the Roll Tide War Eagle 30 for 30 numerous times, and every time it's never loses the interest.
Man-to-man coverage. Take a shot up top. Go to your big 6'6" wide receiver.
Got Ferguson down there at the bottom of the screen, but he's sacked back at the 31. Another flag out. Courtney Berry, Edward Mosley pressuring the quarterback there to bring him down.
I mean, that was just an ambush on Ben Anderson in the pocket. No protection at all. I believe every single offensive lineman for Arkansas Pine-Bluff got beat on that play.
That's not a good ratio.
Hold it. Offense. Number 77. Penalties decline. 4th down.
And even one, the left tackle, Mikhail Carter, was holding.
Yep, they even caught one hold, and Carter's supposed to be their best offensive line. But let's take a look at the white jerseys and see how many of them get beat one-on-one. You got four defenders rushing, and all 4 get to the quarterback. And a bunch of white jerseys on the ground. That's when you start to question, is the fight still there? Is the fight still there, getting beat on the road?
And there's still 4:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. Nieheiser's punt. Thomas backs up to his own 20. Good punt that time by Nieheiser. Here comes Thomas. Avoids 2 tacklers. Coming to the near sideline. Another block. Cuts it back and then pulled down at the 34. Lawrence Mosley has been big on special teams, but it's a 47-yard punt, but a 46-yard return. So what, they net 1 yard there on what was a pretty nice punt from Nieheiser.
He has a gift of making the first defender miss, and he's strong enough where you can't bring him down with an arm tackle. Keeps his eyes downfield, setting up blockers. He's something special. And in the return game, I don't know how many more I've seen on the collegiate level that have that knack, that make one cut and then get downfield. Special team coaches love that.
Thomas, who's from Tallahassee, Florida. And Terrius Toppings now in at quarterback, replacing Daniel Duhart. Thomas, who just had the punt return, gets the carry, but may have lost about a half yard. Tackled by DeMarcus Berry.
That was with the carry, stopped by number 54, DeMarcus Berry.
So he lost a yard on that.
So now Toppings coming in, and we knew we'd see him at some point in this football game. Call him QT. Ask what's the difference between he and Duhart. He's a little bit faster. Arm may be a little bit stronger.
Toppings hands it off to Thomas. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Stopped by Willie Duncan III. Let's take a look at our top 10, of course. The reigning champs top rankings.
I guess you say what, Auburn's in trouble right now tonight. 3-point lead, that's not much. Florida State, that's a tough game there when Winston sidelined for a half. A lot of people aren't talking about LSU, but since the first half of the opening week of the season, they've been playing lights out football.
I know the college football playoff does not begin tomorrow, but if it did, who are your 4 teams, Jim?
Ooh-wee.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, that's putting me on the spot. You have to go Florida State. Obviously, they get in, defending champs. I believe Oregon would get in out of the Pac-12. I don't think a Big Ten team would get in right now if you had to do it.
I don't think many people would disagree with that.
They wouldn't get in, so whoever won the Big 12, well, that's going to be Oklahoma right now. That would be.
Who's your 4th team?
And then that's what the question mark to get. Do you take that? You got to take an SEC team, so it'd be Auburn. But it's no gimme. It's going to be interesting. If you take Auburn right now, then you got the rest of the state of Alabama upset.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said Auburn, another portion of the state just went.
So you know what I should say? It would be the winner of the Auburn Alabama
Who's
game.
going to win the Iron Bowl? Yeah. Let's take a look at our national news and notes from around college football. And mentioned Jameis Winston suspended for the first half of the game with Clemson. How about Auburn? They're in the Little Apple tonight. Competitive game. And hey, North Dakota State received 3 votes for the top 25 team that's won the last 3 FCS championships.
Give them credit. I mean, they beat another FBS team to start the season off, and they looked good. They lost their head coach, Craig Bowles, now at Wyoming, and Brock Jensen, their 4-year starter quarterback that won 3 national championships, moved on. But things just keep rolling for the Bison.
Grown ran into somebody and lost his momentum. Does gain maybe a yard. Of course, game day went back to Fargo last week.
They did.
Yeah.
And the whole city comes out. But I think the game day, they take it easy. If you want to go see North Dakota State football, you got to do game day from inside the dome. The Fargo Dome, you won't be able to hear anything. I mean, I don't know if I've been to a venue where the fans are that close to the players and gets as noisy as that place does.
Anderson on 2nd down. Was caught at the 15 by Willie Young, wrapped up by DeAntrell Silman. That was Marcus Berg there. Hey, I'm going to throw something at you that I don't think anybody's really talked about. This Florida State and the Jameis Winston suspension of 1 half. What if Sean McGuire goes out there and just completely lights it up?
It's always good to know you got a good backup on your team. It doesn't matter.
I'm not saying he's going to take over the starting job, but do you extend the quote-unquote suspension for a little longer than a half?
I wouldn't do it. I mean, I think it's a matter of, you teach Winston a lesson. And I think his lesson he has to learn is he's Jameis Winston. Any other college football player in the country does this, we may not hear about it. But we hear about it because it's Winston, so he needs to adjust to that. But on the football field, kid's undefeated. Never lost a college football game in his life.
It's going to be a fun one to watch. We'll see what happens, Clemson and Florida State this weekend. Well, Ben Anderson with that last completion has just bumped himself up the list of all-time leading passers in the Southwest Athletic Conference. And how about that list, huh?
Ooh, I mean, it all starts with air. I mean, Steve Air McNair, #1. That was an all-time NCAA record that Air set. And Bruce Eugene had a great run at Grambling. Willie Totten, satellite Totten. Willie Totten, we got to see him. He now coaches over at Alabama A&M. And Superman, they used to call Robert Kent Superman. And right here in Alabama State, Darnell Kennedy was a good one. Then you get Doug Williams. That's some good company. Ben Anderson has just joined.
Southwestern Athletic Conference all-time career passing leaders. And he's got the rest of this season. Fortunately, hopefully he stays healthy and finishes out the year. And Anderson jump up that list even more. 83 yards rushing for Anderson, 56 through the air, 9 and 19.
Then the question becomes, is Alabama State that good, or is Arkansas Pine-Bluff that bad? From what I've seen here tonight, Alabama State is clearly that good. I mean, they've beaten a top 5 team already, taking care of things easily here at home in a first conference game.
It's going to be a 3rd and 1 here, so they did not quite get the first down. Where the ball was spotted.
It is 3rd down. Pine-Bluff will not be charged with a timeout. Pine-Bluff still has 3 timeouts.
So Arkansas Pine-Bluff gets that timeout back. Maybe just enough.
That's going to be close. And you know what's weird about it? He's not used to getting underneath the center. He almost dropped the snap. The snap almost went between his legs. You see it on the replay, and what you get now is you get quarterbacks that are 100% shotgun that don't call huddles. They don't know how to take a snap from center. The timing's not there. It wasn't a clean handoff, and take a look, where's the ball delivered? And you're going to see Anderson have to go down and get it. He almost drops it. He has to re-grip it. It almost looked as if he had his hands in the wrong position to take the snap. Fortunate to maintain possession.
They do measure, and by about half the length of the football. Well, they actually completely stretched the chain all the way out. Yeah, they have. First down by about half the length of the football. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. There's a 21-0 lead at the half for Alabama State. Cyrus and Thomas have TD runs for the scoring in this third quarter. Here's Anderson being chased by 5, now 6 black jerseys, and runs out of bounds at the 22. It's about 5, run out. K. Ross Stewart among others.
Now you start to wonder, you're up by 35 points, 1st and 10, and you're calling double-A gap blitzes. They brought Courtney Berry on the blitz, also brought Torrey Davis. I mean, they are not letting off.
Coming right at you.
Uh-oh, look at the way to get out the way. Oh!
Wow. Cameron got made the tackle. This may get an assist. Second down at 4 in motion. And Huff. And he's going to take off again. And the slide by Ben Anderson, and he'll have a first down at the 31. Gains 9, and see if they'll get another playoff after they move the chains. They'll restart the clock.
I don't see them getting a playoff. We know they like to control time of possession. They've been kind of going on cruise control. They're going to take this into the fourth quarter.
So we've finished 3 quarters from the new ASU Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama. Cyrus with his 3rd touchdown run of the night. Thomas picked up his first with that 6-yard run, and it's 35-0 Alabama State at the Montgomery. 35-0 Alabama State. Anderson for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, 124 total yards. He's moved into 8th place on the SWAC all-time passing list tonight. Daniel Duhart looks like his night is finished, 142 yards through the air at TD. And Malcolm Cyrus, career high 3 touchdowns, 188 yards on the ground. Arkansas Pine-Bluff 30 and hit for a loss. Aaron LeGrone loses 4 or 5 back to the 26. It's Roderick Henderson, number 94 for Alabama State, along with Courtney Berry.
Berry, you think they're calling blitzes, but he's just got such a quick reaction, anticipating where the play is called. He's beating the running back to the hole. And a one-man wrecking crew over there on that side of football for the Hornets.
Play clock at 1, they get the play off. Anderson throws to the sideline at the 29 to Willie Young. He steps out about the 30, but that's only near what was the original line of scrimmage. Let's pick up 3, but we're still facing a 3rd down and about 11.
And I'll tell you another interesting dynamic. Going into the year, we know that Ben Anderson was the preseason offensive player of the year in the conference. Well, new offensive coordinator, some new weapons, change in philosophy. Now I think the front runner is probably Malcolm Cyrus.
Especially after tonight.
Especially after tonight and the numbers he's put up. A good football team. And
the blitz off the edge from Silman. He missed Anderson, who's able to run to the far side and out at the 36. Edward Mosley running him out, but it was number 21, DeAndre Silman. Watch him coming from the right side.
Good athletic quarterback will make you miss. Nice pump fake with the ball, actually. Got Edward Mosley in the air as well.
But it will be 4th down, so another punt for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, who've spent most of this night offensively in their own end. And Dylan Nieheiser On to punt for the 9th time tonight, with Thomas back at his own 25. Nieheiser's average 44 yards per punt. His long tonight's been 57, and that's a short one that's spun out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. We played just about 2 minutes of this fourth quarter. Alabama State ready to take over again. Early fourth quarter for Montgomery, Alabama. 35-0. Alabama State leading Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Glad you could join us on this Thursday night from the state of Alabama. Along with Jay Walker, I'm Mark Neely. There's not much Alabama State has not done well tonight. Maybe the passing numbers aren't that great, but they haven't really needed to pass the football.
No, they've looked solid. They've played like one of the premier teams in black college football today, showing why they were able to beat Tennessee State early in the year. They found a star in Malcolm Cyrus at running back. And the fact of the matter is, they know how to get things done.
Well, our big question tonight, Jay, can an Eastern Division team finally get it done, at least for the first time in about 7 years in this SWAC?
Yep. Now, the Eastern Division is more competitive this year than prior years. Normally, it's the West that has the superpowers in there, Southern, Grambling, the Texas schools. But the East this year, I think, is a more competitive version of that one. Alcorn State ranked in the top 5 of HBCUs. Alabama State, that game's going to be a showdown. So I think the East has the better teams this year. But can they win the championship and put it all together? That's the million-dollar question. It's going to be tough.
We're going to get to see Alcorn State a couple of times within the next few weeks. It'll be interesting to see how they look in person.
Yeah, I want to see it. They've got a quarterback in John Gibbs, 6'6", player who's shown that he can be a winner. Coach Hopkins, former defensive coordinator. They play very good defense, sound offense.
Toppings hands off to Andre Kinsey. Steps out at about the 37-yard line. Pushed out by Jared Turner. Well, it's the 8th season for Reggie Barlow, and you know, when you come on the heels, you know, all the success they had early in the last decade, there's some expectations. It's a big year for Reggie Barlow and Alabama State.
Yeah, I think he'd be the first to tell you they've had a long stretch without winning a championship, and this is a program that has a lot of pride. And they had that run from 2001 to 2004 we alluded to earlier, where they were regulars in the championship game. So I know he wants to get it done. And
Joshua Davis, he may go. Angling to the far side. 63 yards for the true freshman from Tallahassee, Florida. Some of the young players getting a little time tonight, and Joshua Davis showing off, the true freshman, with a 63-yard touchdown run, their 5th rushing touchdown tonight for the Hornets.
Well, they want to get him involved, and this is what you do. And the mop-up time team is comfortable, show you athleticism. They say he can flat out fly, and he's showing you with the afterburners and able to finish off the run for the score.
Point after for Preston Clark, 42-0, with still under 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Alabama State continuing to make a statement tonight on their home field.
I know we were talking before the big play by Davis about Barlow and the expectations here. Let's not lose sight of the fact that he went to Alabama State. So sometimes coach at your alma mater during the glory days, when he won a championship, they expect you to do the same. So he's got added pressure. And not only did he go to Alabama State, guess where he's from?
He's from here.
From Montgomery. So
yeah, went to Sidney Lanier High School.
That's been a trend. You're starting to see the former players go back to the alma mater. I mean, Doug Williams did it when he went to Grambling. Willie Todd did it in Mississippi Valley, was never able to get that program up to that level. Look in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, Gary Harrell's the head coach at Howard. We've also got Earl Holmes, played at Florida A&M, now the head coach at Florida A&M.
42-0 Hornets. Well, they scored 47 last week in a win over Mississippi Valley State, won 47-22. Mitchell up to the 23. Well, Saturday here on ESPNU, it's College Football Daily, The Edge. It has the analytics, the team trends, all the player breakdowns and injury updates. Give you all the information you need to know heading into the weekend of college football. It's The Edge, Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. Making a phone call upstairs after a very impressive first career touchdown for Joshua Davis.
Probably talking to Fred Kice, telephone. Hey, young man, I got you there. Way to go, stay focused. It's a pretty big deal to get a long touchdown run like that on national television. I'm just a freshman.
Yeah, he went to Florida State High School in Tallahassee. Did Joshua Davis. There's a run from Michael Wilson. Gain of about 2. Stopped by Courtney Berry, and it's probably almost triple digits tonight that I've mentioned Courtney Berry's name.
He's a football player, still in there. But you mentioned Davis went to Florida State High School. Then the question becomes, how did FAMU let him get away?
Valid question. They rush 4, make that 5, a flag. Anderson almost forward to about the 27. Edward Mosley caught up to him. Asking him whether they want the penalty or to make it a 3rd and about 6, I believe.
Hold it. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And they'll take the penalty. The hold called on Terrence Knighton, the right guard.
And number 73, right, Courtney Berry, great leverage. Talked about how he's good at using his arms and his leverage from his days as a wrestler. And Terrence Knighton saw it right there. He's pretty elusive from that inside linebacker position.
So it's 2nd down and 18. They need to make it to the 33 for a 1st down. Anderson swings it out into the flat. Willie Young to the 23, brought down by Trey Jenkins. So that's a gain of 11. So they cut into the down and distance a little bit, but it's 3rd and 12.
Willie Young looks, hard tackle at the end of the play. Good thing go and get it checked out on the sideline. He can prove being out there with this game that's already away from him. But right now in this situation here, wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Ramsey, defensive coordinator, called a flash defense. You know what a flash defense is?
Tell me.
Have the defensive line just flash in front of Anderson and watch him take off.
Fired out to Levante King, and there goes King. The play that the Golden Lions have been looking for all night. No flags down the field. Touchdown. 79 yards. Marvante King, a sophomore out of St. Louis.
One of the few passes we've seen Anderson throw in rhythm tonight. Look, they've got some Pine-Bluff faithful here to make the trip down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of it. Throws a strike. Make one man miss. Good block on the outside. Becomes a foot race. And King won that one easily.
Prior to that catch, King this year had 1 catch for 17 yards. He just bumped up his average. It's 1 for 17 wasn't bad, but 79-yard TDs, that'll help your average. And a little bit of a sigh of relief, I think I audibly heard from the far side of the field with the Golden Lions getting on the board here.
They have athletes at the wide receiver position. We haven't seen much from Ferguson, but Willie Young, we've seen him make some folks miss. Marvante King, we know can be a game breaker, but for them, they have to do better with the offensive line and protecting their quarterback and allowing plays to develop so you can get the ball to the playmakers on the outside.
Point after attempt. Coming for Tyler Strickland. Strickland hasn't had much to do as far as the place kicking duties tonight. He did have a field goal blocked early in the game, but Marvante King, 79-yard touchdown, has gotten Arkansas Pine-Bluff on the board here in Montgomery.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.
ESPN College Football Primetime presented by McDonald's from Montgomery, Alabama, along with Jay Walker, our entire ESPN crew. I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for spending part of your Thursday with us. 42-7 Alabama State. Arkansas Pine-Bluff just getting on the board with the 79-yard touchdown from Marvante King. Strickland to kick off. There's Joshua Davis back deep. Of course, Davis had the 63-yard touchdown run earlier in this fourth quarter. That goes out of bounds. And so Alabama State will begin at their own 35. Arkansas Pine-Bluff lost tonight. They'll drop to 0-3. This is their first conference game of the year. They have Jackson State in Pine-Bluff next week. That's what's ahead for the Golden Lions.
And once you drop your conference opener, every conference game becomes must win.
30 yards from the kick. First down.
Alabama State on the other side. We'll have Texas Southern, but Arkansas Pine-Bluff, this is what's ahead for them. Jackson State, then at Southern, at Grambling State, and at Texas Southern. So their conference schedule opens up with 4 or 5 on the road. That's not doing them any favors.
I mean, at Southern, that's tough right there. Then you look there at the end of the year, it's at Alcorn. So those are two of the toughest road trips you will make. So it's not going to be an easy ride for the Golden Lions.
Pass out to Kinsey. Just a battle for just 2 yards there.
And it also appears as if the road trip to Grambling, which has been easy over the past couple of years, just got a lot tougher. I've always said that one of the toughest road trips you can ever make is going to Grambling. Because one, it's not easy to get to. 2, everybody in town knows where you're staying. And you're at that stadium, and it's Eddie Robinson and the legend and everything that comes out. And I mean, for years, that was, in my opinion, the toughest road trip to make in black college football. It seems like they're starting to put some points on the board. They may begin to restore some of that tradition.
Quarterback Toppings keeping it. Run out of bounds for a loss. Back at 33. At the 33. Look at the Hornets schedule, what's ahead. Texas Southern, and we'll have it at Alcorn State. That'll be a great game. Looking forward to that one.
Come on, Mark. You know what I'm looking at.
I know.
It all comes right there.
Yep.
You know, they have the Iron Bowl for Auburn and Alabama. Down here, they've got the Classic.
The Magic City Classic.
Magic City Classic.
Topping keeping again, and once again drop for a loss back at the 25.
And one thing you may have noticed is there's a game that's normally there, part of their tradition, Alabama State. They're not playing on Thanksgiving Day.
Unusual.
Anymore.
No Turkey Day Classic. You know, they had played Tuskegee all those years, and then last year switched to Stillman. And Tuskegee decided they wanted to pursue the FCS playoffs. I guess that was the mantra. Punt by Preston Clark. Taking Arkansas. Pine-Bluff bounce all the way back towards midfield. Kicked even deeper into Hornets territory to the 38, but it's going to have to come back at the 50 where it was originally touched. But Arkansas Pine-Bluff's had their issues tonight, just trying to put together a decent offensive drive has been part of it, but the miscues prominent here in the second quarter. A blocked field goal. And really tonight, Anderson has had to drop pass. That could have extended the drive late in the first half. The fumble But a lot of it tonight, Jay, I think you hit it right on the head, begins with their offensive line. Anderson's really had to run for his life tonight.
Well, they haven't been able to protect him, and Courtney Berry's been in the backfield, and I don't think there's one offensive lineman for Pine-Bluff that can say they won their battles. You know, normally you say in the locker room, oh, I got my man. I don't think any of them can say they got their man tonight. They were just pushed around all evening.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff begins this at their own 49. And the throw is completed at the 36-yard line, and a tackle broken by Isaiah Ferguson. He's inside the 15, out of bounds at the 12. 40-yard gain. Isaiah Ferguson, you know, that 6'6" frame, they've got to exploit that more often.
Yeah, big target, get it to him in rhythm, plants his foot, delivers a strike, and then allow the athleticism to take over and run its course. At 6'6", 215 pounds, not easy to bring down, and you know he can get you nice run after catch yards. Now I find a way to go back to him. You're here in the red zone. Go back to him.
The last two plays have gone for 119 yards. Ooh, big lick put on Anderson, but he stayed upright and out of bounds at about the 6. Darius Holmes. Listen to this one at home. Anderson took a big hit there and didn't really seem to affect him at all.
They've got Ferguson here in the slot right now. Look for the one-on-one matchup.
And picked off. Going the other way. Cyrus Stewart. Run down from behind at the 40-yard line by Isaiah Ferguson. 58-yard interception return for sophomore Cyrus Stewart.
Combination of a lazy route to go along with no timing, no rhythm. This is Ferguson right here. He's going to come here and settle. Take a look at the safety, just reading the throw. Not necessarily a miscommunication. That's miscommunication. You can't drift if you're the wide receiver. You either have to stop where you are or you have to run by him. In that case there, Ferguson drifted, allowing Cyrus Stewart, the safety, to come over and get the interception.
Stewart is from the St. Louis area, from O'Fallon, Missouri, originally signed with Mizzou out of high school. That interception for Stewart, that's actually the first turnover of the game. Had a few fumbles that were recovered by the respective teams. Andre Kinsey tackled at the 43 by Jontrell Lockett. Cyrus Stewart. Ferguson, who was the intended receiver, wound up making the tackle of Stewart. Toppings up to the line. Let some more of that play clock run down. Kinsey. So many times tonight, Jay, we've seen a run just like that, and it's been mainly Cyrus, sometimes Thomas for Alabama State. They just don't go down on first contact.
They do not, and they're recruiting a specific type of player. You can tell. I mean, you look at Malcolm Cyrus, he's the big back. He's 5'10". He's 5'10", 180 pounds. He's the big one. I mean, Thomas 5'9", 175, and then they bring in Kinsey, and Kinsey's 5'9" as well. So they've got a system of runner that they won here because so much outside zone that they run. And it's been effective, and all of the running backs do a great job of keeping their legs going.
First down run by Kinsey. Clock running, under 5.5 minutes to go. Alabama State will improve to 3-1 and 2-0 in conference play. That one loss coming at Sam Houston State. Begin the year at 51-20. Tackle back of the 36.
And the Sam Houston, loss there, you don't want respectable loss, but they were trying something different, leaving their comfort zone, saying, let's go on the road and take on a highly ranked FCS football team. When the season started, Sam Houston was ranked in the top 10. Now, they've come across some tough times this season, but I think the experience that they gained from competing with Sam Houston may be what they need to take them over the edge and win this SWAC championship that they want so desperately.
Mid-seed to the 32, back near the original line of scrimmage. Sam Houston State got whacked pretty good by Eastern Washington, but Sam Houston State had been kind of the nemesis for Eastern Washington in the FCS postseason in recent years.
Yes, they were. And Eastern Washington's going to whack a lot of people.
Yeah, they're good.
They're ranked number 2 in FCS, but you could easily make the case for them being number 1.
How about their quarterback?
I think he should be up for the Heisman Trophy, Mark.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
I mean, 7 touchdowns versus the University of Washington, 500 yards.
They almost won that football game.
Almost won it. They don't lose many games, and I remember when he first touched the field, he's just an offensive weapon.
Whistle at the snap. People at home may be asking.
Timeout. Alabama State.
Alabama State uses the timeout. We'll continue the conversation when we come back. We'll step aside with 3:51 to play. Alabama State's been so dominant on the ground tonight. They've gotten that running from a lot of different sources, including Daniel Duhartz, their quarterback. But really, it's been the Malcolm Cyrus show.
Cyrus is showing this is one of the best runs you're going to see. Great balance. Then they also got the sophomore Khalid Thomas in the act. If that wasn't enough, why not add some speed? Freshman Joshua Davis taking the reverse to the house, and they kept it going. Now we've got Andre Kinsey getting it going, and that's a well-coached group in terms of turning over their legs, keeping it going, and finishing off runs, which is what you really like to see, and that's been impressive.
Career high 3 rushing touchdowns tonight for Malcolm Cyrus. Copping's keeping. Brought down for a loss back at the 37 by Antonio Jenkins. Now Cyrus last year was second on the team in rushing behind Isaiah Crowell with 759 yards, 6 rushing TDs. He's going to exceed that number here within the next week or so.
Yeah, and he's leading the conference in rushing right now, and rushing average, so that's something that will continue to grow. That's what you want. Your senior campaign, he's paid his dues. And it looks like this is going to be a payoff year for him.
Antonio Jenkins, linebacker for Arkansas, Pine-Bluff down. He was up and then stood there for a while and then went to the ground. While they attend to him, I want to clean up what we were talking about earlier, Jay. We were talking about Vernon Adams, the quarterback at Eastern Washington, who plays in the FCS. And some people may be asking, are FCS players eligible for the Heisman Trophy? And the question is, and the answer is yes. Let's take a look. This is after the play. As I mentioned, Jenkins was up and then
couldn't put any pressure on that left leg.
And it went to the ground. And they attend to Jenkins. But Steve McNair had votes for the Heisman Trophy.
Steve McNair, highest finish for an FCS player ever, came in 3rd place for the Heisman in '94. But you've also had Walter Payton receive Heisman votes, Jerry Rice receive Heisman votes. Everybody remember when Gordy Lockbaum made a great run at Holy Cross, a 2-way player. And also let you know, I think we learned something when we saw North Dakota State receive votes to be in the top 25.
Right.
FBS.
You know, we're wondering about that. Can an FCS team receive votes for the poll? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, and I just think, when you look at Vernon Adams' body of work, I mean, last year they beat Oregon State when they were ranked in the top 5. And then this year, I mean, you lose to Washington. I say if Washington plays a better quarterback this year, let's suppose Mariota takes him on and he doesn't put up the type of numbers that Vernon Adams put against him, and Hogan from Stanford and Huntley at UCLA. And I don't know if anybody's going to torch that Washington defense the way he torched it. They lost 59-52. Bo Baldwin had the special talent there. That team is loaded. What if they go undefeated and win the FCS National Championship? And who's really stepping up in the Heisman race right now? I mean, Hill from Texas A&M is doing something. Mariota looks good. I think right now he's the favorite. And we showed earlier the statistics on Winston. He's having a better year than he did last year. So until there's separation, it's up for grabs.
The FCS top 10, North Dakota State trying to make it 4 in a row as far as consecutive titles at the FCS level. Eastern Washington, they lost on their home field to Towson last year in the semifinals, and then Towson lost to North Dakota State in the final.
How about Coastal Carolina undefeated? But what about McNeese State? They jumped up in the rankings. They weren't a top 10 team. They had one loss, but you know that one loss was to?
The Nebraska team they nearly beat.
they had on the ropes.
So that's the FCS top 10. They're still attending to Antonio Jenkins, and while they do so, we'll step aside here. We have 3:19 left here at junior linebacker Antonio Jenkins for Arkansas Pine-Bluff, who, as you may have seen before the break, wasn't really moving his left leg and was kind of clutching the hip area and then went down to the ground. And then this is a big loss for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He was a preseason SWAC first-team pick this year. You know, arguably their best playmaker at linebacker came in tonight as their leading tackler. Last year, second on their team with 94 tackles. We hope it's not serious, Jay, but if it is and he's out for an extended time, this is a big loss for the Golden Lions.
Huge loss for the Golden Lions and for the program as a whole. And Coach Ronnie Coleman, they don't have a lot of depth, especially at the linebacker position, and he was a good one. Let's hope that he's okay. Tough sight to see there. He's obviously in pain. You know, then you look at it and you say, you don't want anybody to get hurt. But when it happens with 3 minutes to go in a game like that, you know, is way out of hand, I'm sure there'll be some second guessing, wondering why do you have the starter still out there?
3:19 left. 4th down and Alabama State punting. It's Andre Mitchell back. Hunter Clark letting as much of the play clock and game clock run down as possible. The game clock restarted as well. And actually, they're just going to take the penalty to give themselves a little more room.
Delay of game, 16 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So 5 extra yards for Clark to work with here. And the fair catch taken at the 11 by Andre Mitchell. Well, Saturday coverage of college football continues on ESPNU. First at 3:30. East Carolina hosts North Carolina. And then it's 7. It's college football primetime presented by 5 Hour Energy. Northern Illinois against Arkansas. It's a MAC SEC battle there. Both games also available live on Watch ESPN. See some of the top rushing attacks in the Football Bowl subdivision. Arkansas is averaging 362 and Northern Illinois at 325 per game on the ground. Dennis Brunson now in at running back for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Anderson to throw on 1st down. A little deep down the sideline for John Hawkins. Incomplete. There on the coverage.
This is a point in the game where I take Ben Anderson out of the game.
I was wondering about that. I'm going to ask you why you leave your starter in here.
You have a redshirt freshman quarterback in Marcus Terrell as the backup. If you lose Anderson, I mean, your season's shot. The offensive line has had trouble protecting tonight. You just saw a bad injury, one of your star defensive players. At this point, it's taking me. Let's get on the bus and regroup.
Anderson almost intercepted. The pass was behind Hawkins, and then Merles Gilbert really picked it off. There's Marcus Terrell, who's the redshirt freshman quarterback. Still has the clipboard. Had the helmet on, and like maybe he was going to come into the football game.
Yeah, well, I think he should get a chance. When you're down by 35 points, at a certain point, you have to. Coach has to show the confidence. I'll put you in a game. If you can't get in the game when you're down by 35.
Anderson. Incomplete at the 25. Intended for Braxton Hoof. It's over his head, and it's 4th down. So a quick 3 and out for Arkansas. Pine-Bluff didn't need much of that time, and there's still 2:10 to go. Sean Parks now back deep to receive this punt, with Nieheiser punting out of his own end zone. A short punt. Down at the 44. With 2 minutes to go. Well, Arkansas Pine-Bluff. L.C. Greenwood, who played for the Golden Lions in the late 60s, won 4 Super Bowls with the Steel Curtain. One of the 70s all-decade team, one of the great Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions of all time, L.C. Greenwood.
Currently, Golden Lions have a NFL alum. Teron Armstead, left tackle, starting left tackle from the Saints. And Alabama State, we've got 2 I can think of right now in the NFL. Tavares Jackson, Russell Wilson's back up in Seattle, and you mentioned Isaiah Crowell playing for the Cleveland Browns.
Rodney Cross stopped at the 33. And Crowell had 2 touchdowns for the Cleveland Browns in his NFL debut in Week 1 this year.
Well, we saw him play, and we knew he was special. You know, when he decided to run that football, he was something special. Undrafted, went to Cleveland and made the most of it. Week 1, took advantage of the opportunity. Injury to Ben Tate.
Alabama State would like to eat up the rest of this clock and head to the locker room with a very impressive win here on their home field tonight. They improved to 3-1 and 2-0 in conference play. This is Rodney Cross, the fullback, getting some carries. Tackled by Jontrell Lockett. College football weekend kickoff coming your way next when we're finished up here in Montgomery. Big story tonight. Alabama State, their running back Malcolm Cyrus, career high 3 rushing touchdowns. Again, Alabama State. Next for them is Texas Southern here at home, and then at Alcorn State, October 2nd. We'll have that game for you here on ESPNU. Cross again. Farrell Franklin with the tackle.
It's time to take the knee. For both squads.
One more play should do it.
2nd down, you can take a knee on 2nd and 3rd down. Get out of here, but can't say enough about how impressed I am with the performance of Alabama State. When you come in as the favorite and off the biggest win your program's had in the past 10 years, they did not let down. They're continuing to play at a high level. Defense, sound. Offense, impressive, particularly the offensive line and the running backs. Special group they have here in Montgomery.
Toppings takes a knee, and that's going to do it. Alabama State over Arkansas Pine-Bluff tonight, 42-7. Handshakes between Monty Coleman and Reggie Barlow. Again, Alabama State improves to 3-1, 2-0 in conference. Arkansas Pine-Bluff drops to 0-3 and 0-1 in conference play. For Jay Walker, our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. College football weekend kickoff coming up next. Good night from my